Konnichiwa humans, Simperfect des, and this is my modern Zen Bachelor pad. That little picture you just saw, scrolling upwards beforehand, is my inspiration for this build. This is not going to be a complete recreation of that beautiful house, but it will be massively inspired by it. As you can see, I'm laying out the general foundations, the layout of what we're going to have. It's built around a central courtyard, as quite a lot of Zen gardens are. It's going to have that big water area, quite shallow, it's not a swimming pool, and various water features. And then generally the aesthetic is one of modern Japanese tranquility. Okay, the way that the original design is built is not really possible to recreate on The Sims, which is one of the reasons why I've not decided to do a full recreation. For example, this building on the left that you can see, the section on the left, which in the picture is the vertical wood, isn't quite as high as the bit with the roof that I'm just building right now. It's not quite as high, but then I didn't quite like how tall it was when I did a full story. Basically, I mess around with it quite a lot during the video. I'm happy in the end with how it's gone, and it's a reinterpretation of that original inspiration. I'm definitely not trying to completely recreate it. Basically, how this idea came about is that I'd imagined, kind of in my mind's eye, this bit that I'm building right now, this spur area where the photo is taken from. You can see this bamboo that I'm building along the spur. I'd imagined something like that, and then I just googled, I think it was modern Japanese garden, and then trolled through everything for inspiration. Finally came across this, and it was one of those weird moments where you almost feel like you're living a dream that you've already experienced. It's like, I'm sure I've seen that before. Maybe I had, maybe I hadn't, but ultimately this is what I wanted to create. We've got a few different levels going on in the different blocks to make it interesting. The way I've achieved a few of the more subtle differences is with those half walls to make a surround to the roof. Mostly flat roofs, except for this wave. That's going to be the bedroom. A bit of a feature. The colour scheme I'm going for, you can see these vertical wooden slats being that section. But then also we're going for a lot of white, we're going for a lot of black, and then natural textures, so stone. We've got this concrete. Okay, so concrete isn't natural, but it's a kind of rough concrete texture, so it feels like it's actually made of something. I think I've said that before on my Let's Build videos. I quite like building things that look as if they're actually made of something. It's not just a facade, literally. It is quite fundamentally built out of something. And of course it isn't, because it's The Sims, but whatever. This open section at the top is going to be not just a balcony. Like the balcony is going to be in front of this area, which will be the bedroom, but it's a kind of living space also. A living space that's going to be outdoors. So obviously you can't have actual sofas and stuff because it would get rained on if it was real life. I cannot wait for proper weather to be in The Sims. It will be one day, I'm fairly certain of that, but not for now. But still, I can role play that we can't have soft furnishings too much outside. I think I do end up with, now I've just said that, I do end up with a like an outdoor chair with cushions on it, but whatever. We can't have an actual sofa because it would get soggy, and you don't want a soggy sofa. What I'm trying to do is basically get the outside kind of right, and then I'm going to start messing around with the inside. This bamboo screen obviously is using something that isn't from the build menu, it's from the buy area, and so I've had to bounce between the different menus, but I think it's still structural for me. I'm imagining it structurally. It's forming a I kind of start talking like a book. It's forming a liminal kind of space. It's not quite a wall because you can see through it. Certainly not a window because you can't see through it as much as a window could. Right, now you're looking at this bit now where I build the bamboo, where I suddenly freak out because I realise that the front of the lot is what it's going to look like on the workshop, on the gallery within The Sims, on the Origin. And I've really designed this building to look really cool from that corner where we first were looking at it, as if it were that photograph, kind of recreating the photograph, and it looks great from that angle. But for a long while it didn't look particularly good from the front. So I end up coming back to that once I've got a bit more inspiration to to make it have some interest, at least to catch the eye. I do tend to put up my creations on the... It's not the workshop, is it? That's Steam. It is the gallery. Yeah, on the Sims gallery. So if you want to check it out, look me up. It's Simperfect also. I've got a few different things there. My characters that I make for the Gender Update Let's Play. Also, their house is up there as well. Just check some stuff up. Now, this bit I really love. It's from the photograph as well. It's a kind of indoor-outdoor garden, like a Zen garden space. So I've put a rock. That ground thing is sand, and then I put some bamboo in because the kind of bonsai style tree was just too big. It was going to come through the floor, and I wanted the sleekness that comes with having quite low ceilings, so the building would appear quite long. If I made the ceilings too high, it would kind of tower over things, and I don't think that would look particularly authentically Japanese. You can debate with me whether the final product looks Japanese. Now, this outhouse type area is going to be a meditation space, and I was playing around with this Tudor, or is it Stuart? It's Tudor woodwork, and then I believe the Stuarts came along and painted it black and white, and it kind of using it as a shorthand for Japanese paneling, and it didn't quite work. I don't think, or I didn't use it as much as I was going to. In the end, you can see the bamboo is coming through the wall on the first floor, but don't worry, when you get into actually live mode and also even the build mode, it doesn't come through. This bit is going to be a bit of a transitional space. It's going to be an office upstairs there, but also it's the way to get up to the rest of the building. I've taken a few liberties now with the original picture, like those windows in that wooden section. Because it got so tall, it was looking very blocky, so I broke it up with the small windows. It's going to be a kind of wet room space up there. We're going to have a sauna, and we're going to have a bathroom and a little changing area. Now, this is quite a big and quite expensive house, and it's designed largely for one person. That's what I mean by the bachelor pad. One person plus one guest. A kind of intimate guest, shall we say. That's what I'm designing it for. Maybe a couple, that would be fine as well. I think it's fairly masculine in its dark tones, in its like structural brutalism, perhaps. And yeah, the colour palette. I think the bedroom gets a little bit more floral, so that breaks up the the abject masculinity. I'm basically trying to break up this big blocky section. It ended up being this big kind of cardboard box. I wasn't particularly happy with it, so I've tried to break it up in some places without it also being too arbitrary, just like sticking things on there. This bamboo screen is so that when you're in the garden, it won't feel like you're being overlooked by whoever's next door. Who's next door? I think it's Joanne. I put down that blossom tree because there is a blossom tree in the picture, but because I've moaned about this before, I think, on my spring townhouse video, because that blossom tree is just so pink. It's like a candy floss thing. I get rid of it in the end. I think it's one thing too many. I think it's Coco Chanel. Her saying was that you should always take off the last item of clothing that you put on, because it will always be the thing that is too much. And I've been doing that quite a lot with this house, because I end up throwing too much stuff at it and then having to pare it back for it to be zen-like. Here's the sauna going in. I'm going to move it around in a sec so it fits on the very edge of the building. Yeah, I wasn't sure how to lay out this inside bit, so I've got the sauna on the edge, and then that other space is going to be our bathroom. Only one bathroom for this place, but it's a kind of a bathroom suite, if you like, with some changing spaces in the corridor and also the old sauna. Here's the kitchen. I've got that indentation again just to break up the blockiness. It's going to be quite open plan down here. We're going to have a kitchen cubbyhole type area, not very dissimilar from what we had in the industrial build just recently. There isn't really a dining space, not a functional dining space. You'll see the living room has got a very low table, which I think would be culturally the thing that you would use to eat from if this was truly a Japanese home. We can't simulate eating on our knees in The Sims, so I've got a bit of a breakfast bar going on, I think, just next door. Always trying to find interest, particularly with lighting. I love playing with the lighting, and that's what I was trying to do here. I don't know what we end up with. Let's see. All these different things. Quite a lot of stuff coming from the new... what is it? What's it called? It's not called Let's Eat, is it? It's like Dining Out. Dine Out? The game pack. Okay, so that's what we've ended up with. In the kitchen, this dark blue with the black, and there's the stools going in for the breakfast bar. This is going to be a kind of living space, as I say. We're going to have a table. Oh, I'm bouncing around quite a lot. I'm going to try to avoid doing that in future, I think, because it makes it difficult for me to give a narration. It's fun for me to build and just like do what needs doing, but it's not great for me to chat over. One thing I do is if I come across something useful in the buy mode, I'll pick it up and put it down. That's what I did with that shoji screen, the paper screen. I'm not going to use it here. Here's the low table and a nice candle. Theme is kind of blue to go with the blue and black and white theme. I think that's going to be largely the colour scheme for downstairs. I like that new aquarium, which I think has come quite recently, and then it goes with the blue as well. This is going to be a little changing area to keep your coats and stuff. I wanted to use under the stairs without it being too blocked off, because it's those stairs that you can see through. Okay, this is me going through now, taking some stuff away. I think I leave that there because it does glow, which I think is pretty cool. Okay, now I quite like this this bathroom. It's quite like a spa, I suppose. I think it uses some of the spa day stuff. Big mirror along the wall. And then, yeah, these Japanese-style lanterns to light us up. I think I end up putting some shelves. Yep, here they are. And then just strewing them with useful things. Not all of the bathroom, like, clutter will fit on there, so I've got just bits and bobs. Lighting up the sauna. I didn't want to put too much in the sauna, because obviously it would get damp, but there's some towels. Now, I've started working on the front. This is the bit where I started panicking, thinking, oh, it just looks too boring. And then, as I say, I'm bouncing around. So it took me a while to work out. So what I did was just kind of leave it and then decide to come back and let the ideas gestate a bit. There's a locker. I don't know why I've put a locker in there. Maybe it's just to keep your clothes while you nip in to relax. Here's the bedroom. I found this nice pattern on the bed with it's kind of cherry blossoms. And what I've done with this room is play around with the idea of this brutal black and white aesthetic, and then the gentle cherry blossoms, not to like over-intellectualize it, but you know, that's me, over-intellectualizing, fine. Try to get some more pink in the room, but I'm still not desperately happy with the rugs in this game. I would like a size that's in between. You know how you can press close brackets and open brackets to make it bigger or larger? Well, now you know if you didn't. But I'd love a size in between, and I just can never get the right rug, compounded by the fact that you can't get quite the right colour. I think I'm happy with the end result. I was playing around with this side then so that it wasn't just a big white wall, playing around with different, what am I trying to say, different wall decorations. And then I come up with this idea. I'm sure I'm not the only person to have ever done it, but I've slid together these chrome bars in black as a kind of divider a dado rail, D-E-D-O, I think. And then it mixes together with pictures quite well to look as if it's like a stylish design to the wall, rather than just being a picture hanging. Yeah, so it's gone higher, and I think I replaced that picture so it's a bit pinker. What do I come up with? There it is, this cherry blossom triptych. And then I embed some, what's it called, fluorescent light into the chrome bar using the move object sheet. And I'm pretty happy with how it looks. You'll get to have a look at some screenshots later. I think I'm going to make a guy to move in and show you around his pad. Okay, so this is me working on the front in earnest. I'm using these different panels, also some chrome panels, but also those big blocks that have come with the restaurants to make a bit of a design. I didn't want it to be too busy, and I didn't want it to look like a commercial lot at all. I didn't want it to look like a restaurant, so it's had to be quite simple. What I've done is enlarge a light quite a long way, like I think about 5 times, to make that right-hand block, which is lighting up differently than the other blocks. But I'm quite happy with the result. I think I'm going to use that technique again with modern buildings, if I come around to making another modern building. By the way, I totally take commissions, like obviously not charged, just free. If you want me to make something, let me know. And at this stage in my YouTubing, I can do it if it's something that I think I can do. One thing I'll say is, and I think I agree with Flabaliki on this. I think he goes by James in the Sim Supply. In that I don't love making massive lots. Even this took about 3 sessions of a few hours. So probably, yeah, I'm going to say about 4 hours I think to make this so far, not including the time spent like doing this narration and preparing all of the videos. But anyway, if I was then to expand that into a big mansion, is what I'm trying to say. If you ask me to make you a mansion, it might be a bit of a longer project, several videos kind of thing, and then it's hard to keep motivation. I didn't not to say I'll never do it. I've got a half-made mansion just sitting in Windenburg actually, which I'm hoping to come back to decorate. I've got the overall shape on the outside. It's just then going through room by room and thinking of something worthwhile to have in there, so it's not just empty space. Especially because they're quite big rooms, to try and structure that space is quite hard, or at least take some effort. I'm placing some wind chimes. The wind chimes is one of the reasons why I thought I'd do a modern Japanese garden. Oh my gosh, I realise now that I've forgotten to put in a bird feeder. I will definitely go through putting some bird feeders in. I think you could just see that I put lanterns in as well, the black and white lanterns, just around. I'm using those as a decoration to add to the Japanese theme. This is me just fiddling around with the front to try and make it a bit kind of more presentable. I wanted to give you a flavour of what's going to be coming up in the rest of the house from the front, because of the way that I keep forgetting the name of it, that the gallery works. So you only really see it from the front. That's what's got to catch your eye, and then you might look at the other pictures. So I wanted to look after it just a bit. There's not much interest there in terms of gameplay. It's just there to look good, hopefully. Okay, I'm going to pass you on to myself. I'm going to go off and do a live section so that I can show you around my new Japanese crib. Okay then, so what I'm going to do now is just go through some finishing touches and then show you through what we've got. Okay, so first of all, what we definitely need is this bird feeder that I keep going on about. Bird feeder. What colour shall we have? I prefer black, but we don't have black, so we're going to have white. Do we have it up top? Maybe here. Like this? Okay. It's now going to take me ages to simply place the bird feeder. There, do we think? Okay, we're going to go for that. That's absolutely fine. Next, I'm going to get rid of this gate. I decided I didn't really like it. I could just leave the entire thing open. Oh, what am I doing? So gate, remove. Nothing to change. If I just delete, fine. Got rid of. I think that's okay. Just without. It was a bit redundant, I reckon. In the photo, I think there's different colours for these two sections of kind of fencing, and so since I don't have that, we're gonna get rid of that. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Anything else we need to do? I don't think so. I think we are there. Ooh, let's have a shoe rack. I'm just gonna search for shoe, see what comes up. That comes up. Men's shoe rack. Yeah? Let's have a men's and a women's. Is that the right colour have we got? There we go, that's the one. Lovely. Oh no, that's against the window. That's less than elegant. Let's put it in this corner instead. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I don't like how it's not flush against the back. Let's sort that out. Like this. So it's gonna have to. Great. Okay, quick fix. Lovely. Let's have a look through. So this, ooh, swivel. This is the front. Particularly notice the panels here. I was quite pleased with how this came out in the end. Wow, my camera's wobbling. Okay, what are these panels called? Let's place it. Eyedropper, unfulfilled wall sign. So it's actually a sign. It's just that we've not put the words on top. Can we fit words on top of it? I don't know, maybe. But it's just empty at the moment, and it serves really nicely as this block. Here we have a brushed metal square light. It's tiny IRL. Look at that, how small that is. But I've just pressed the close bracket to make it bigger. Was it there? Ooh. And then Alt to place it absolutely exactly where we wanted. And then the other element of it is this chrome wall panel in decorations, wall decorations. Comes in different colours. I've used it also in the bedroom. And I think together it just makes quite a pleasing shape to fill that empty square. Also got this area with the Japanese lanterns to make it look Japanesey. I managed to work the tree in the photo. The tree is in the glass garden, but out here I managed to fit it in like that. This is one of the Cohen streams. Maybe we'll be able to see that working. Okay, so what you do then is walk through here. Is it going to let me do it? Oh no, so we're going to bounce over and then into this backyard, which is the whole point of the build, really. One more change I'm going to do is change the wall. What do we think? The wall of the water. I want something dark. Should we try this? I quite like that. Cool. And then, is this what's there? No, that's better. A bit darker. Lovely. Now, I think I can change the... yeah, I think I can change the style of the water, but that'll have to be in live mode. Notice how the shadows fall through the slats. Love that, love that, love that. These are yoga mats, so we could have a yoga party. Through these glass doors, we have a meditation room. Let's go into the meditation room. Quite simple there, purely for that meditation room. And then along here is the spur that I was talking about. That is kind of flanked by the bamboo. I've got also made of bamboo, the wind chimes, so it should sound quite nice and relaxed around here. And then these are waterfalls. We'll see them moving hopefully in a bit. We have the inside glass garden, which is like a more traditional Zen garden with the sand. You can imagine it being raked around in different circles. We've got some bamboo and a big rock. A changing area under the stairs. I wanted to be able to see under the stairs because that's the point of these stairs, that they're not a big block, so you can see through them. It's a little bit of a fashion-y changing area because there isn't room for it in the bedroom. A sitting place with fish. I quite like this kitchen in the end. It's I'm going to put the walls down. Pretty sleek, pretty functional. I suppose we could have some smaller appliances. What have we got? Coffee, do we reckon? I think a bachelor pad should have a coffee machine. That is just not going to fit at all. What's that? Does it come in dark blue? No, it does not. Black, maybe? I prefer this espresso one. Should we put it there? Oh. Yeah, let's put it there. Great. This living room, the idea was with this low table that you could kneel around it and have your dinner. It's not going to be functional in The Sims because they don't do that. A paper lantern. I think actually in the picture there are 3 paper lanterns. So let's do that. Looks quite nice. Quite a yellowy light, but it's interesting. Blue, white, black, big themes, big colour themes in this ground floor at least. Okay, I think that is the ground floor. Let's go up. The way you get up is up these stairs and into the kind of office study zone. I quite like this neon-y lamp, which could almost be some Japanese calligraphy. More paper lanterns at the top. Wall of books. I love a wall of books. Can't wait until I've got one of them in real life. Cute little study area. Then on the, should we call it the veranda? I don't know. Balcony? I don't know. Whatever. We've got our bird feeder, all important. A few lanterns to make the theme work. Glass roof, I'm imagining, for the meditation room. Bits and bobs of stuff to do. Here is our bedroom. I'm quite pleased with how this came out. Ugh, can't get a good angle in build mode. Got this black stripe running down the middle, kind of cleaving it in twain, and then white either side with these pink natural highlights. So it is a bit of masculine feminine fusion as well as east and west, and also traditional and modern. I like this combination of things that I've done with the picture, this triptych, and then the bars of chrome, and then behind the bars of chrome are these lights. So I've kind of built this bespoke picture and then replicated it on the other side. I'm quite chuffed with how that's come out, actually. One of my favourite bits. This kind of bathroom complex, shall we say. Put the front walls down. Little changing area, so you can go into the sauna without your clothes getting steamy. And a bathroom, all quite tranquil, quite plain. Bare wood. Yeah, quite pleased with it. Okay. So that is that, really. I'm now going to go through and take some photos, some screenshots. I'm going to make a sim for that. So, enjoy the screenshots, and I'll probably leave you with just some music. So thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed, you know, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And also, let's have a chat. Tell me what you think. Did some bit not work? Did some bit work? And then also, if you've got any requests, I'm all ears. Let me know what you'd like me to build next. Okay. See you soon, guys. Bye for now.